next thing you know, you don't trust your partner, or you're questioning their moves, you know, because again, you know, even something as simple as liking a picture. I jokingly do that, with my lady. If I like someone's picture, I let her know, look, I like this picture, but they were fully clothed as a friend. I didn't love it, I just liked it. But you have to be cognizant of stuff like that, because you never know how your partner may take it. They may not take it the exact same way you do. So it's good to, at the beginning, or whenever you can, have that conversation.
In the beginning, like you said.
Yeah, because the thing is, social media is so prevalent in everyone's lives today. So social media is a conversation like we're going to talk about what we're going to do with the in-laws. It has to be included.
It's part of the premarital talk. It's so big, and you really have to, because my personality, and I know what you said, you don't like pictures. My personality, I like pictures. It doesn't mean I like the woman in the picture. That's just my personality. I'm very encouraging. So I like pictures, and my wife is okay with it. Now, if I had a wife that was, and I won't call it insecure, if her boundaries is for me not to do it, then we ought to have a conversation for me not to do it. So just do what worked for you and be
respectful. Communicate, though. Right.
And the thing, and to his point, we have that boundary when it comes to social media because my husband is social. He's just that person in real life, in person. So for me, I don't take it personal, and I understand we have boundaries and we have respect in our marriage. And so to my point, what I was saying earlier, a lot of times when we sit with couples and they're having these issues with social media, and he's clicking it, I'm seeing they liking all of this person posts, that came on the heels of trust being broken. It came on the heels of you realizing your partner behavior is changing. It came on the heels of you having conversation about how intimacy is now different. And so now you're looking for those violations. You're looking to see, oh, well, every time I look up, he or she's on her phone. And so then you start to tap into what they're doing on social media and so on and so forth. So social media
give you the opportunity to start digging. It makes you start digging for what you already suspect is going on.
Yes.
Is what we find happens when we sit down and we talk to couples.
Right.
So when you talk to couples, everyone has, I got my Facebook over here with my Instagram, which is also tied to my threads, and I got my TikTok, everything. What are some things that you would advise couples that, obviously, they're not going to unplug, they're going to remain on social media. What are some things you would tell them to be on the lookout for? Like, okay, if you see this, like we said, social media isn't real. It's not always real. Right. So how do you instruct someone like, okay, these are some red flags to, things that can negatively influence what we have?
Yeah. So the first thing I would say on the front end of it is, don't do anything that you wouldn't want your spouse to see. Everything that I do on social media, I do it as if my wife is over my shoulder looking at it. I don't do nothing that can come up that she can question me about that I can't stand on and explain why I did it. That's on the front end. And on the back end of it, if someone is doing anything, this is my advice. Anybody do anything that make me feel uncomfortable, you will be blocked on everything I have. It won't be another further conversation, anything, I will block you. That's my boundary. So my advice would set whatever boundaries work for you and stand on them. That's what I would say.
Well, that's great, because that's a conversation that Antonio and I had to have. So we talked about it. And to be honest, we joke a lot because Antonio gets hit on a whole lot on social media.
That is not
more
true.
than I could imagine.
That is not true.
He's a handsome guy. I'm like,
right.
That's definitely not true.
So they stay in his DMs. So the funny part is we talk about that all the time. We're just understanding that, these things are going to happen, especially when you're doing certain things and you have businesses on social media, right? You have to understand that those kind of things may happen. DMs may happen. Random people may inbox. Those things are going to happen. So speak with your partner and ask, when these things happen, what is it that you would like for me to do? What is our action plan moving forward? And that's just what works for us.
Yeah, and I can say to her point about business, I actually own a limousine service, so my business requires me to respond to, hey, how you doing? I don't know where the hey, how you doing going.
Right.
So once I say, hey, how are you? If anything other than my services are crazy, is no more response and you're blocked. So I have got me a regimen that works for me, so I won't have to ever worry about putting my wife in a situation where she feel disrespected and violated.
That's very important. I mean, I think more couples, more men and women need to realize, okay, what you do is going to affect the other person.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You can do some things on social media that will embarrass. Because again, if you're someone who's liking and loving every thirst trap, after a while, your spouse is going to begin to look like a fool. They, people gonna think, okay, what's going on in their marriage?
Right.
If
If that's
you
the
have,
case. Yeah.
he's always liking thirst traps or always commenting and stuff like that. But Mark, I'm glad you said what you said in terms of you have to be aware, understand that your marriage is important to you, but other people may not view it that way. That's why you can be a happily married couple and have people sneak in your DMs.
Yeah.
Right.
They see opportunity.
Yeah, they may see an opportunity, or some people, of course, they may come sniffing around to see, what's good, or are y'all really happily married?
Right.
Absolutely.
Can you have friends? Everybody know, can you have friends and all that stuff? So I mean, that's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, it happens. It happened when you go out, but definitely with social media, it provides a way for people to try to, kind of sneak in and see, what the temperature's like.
Right.
And you hear, and this is something you can comment on. You have some couples that feel like, well, the best way for us to protect ourselves against social media is, we share one of those passwords. Or for some people, they feel like, oh, we're going to have a shared profile. Every profile picture is going to be, a picture of the both of us together and not just one of us. How would you respond to people like that feel like if we're together? Matter of fact, you do have people that feel like there are no secrets in a marriage. So if you have a social media account, I should have your password. I should have your everything. What would you say to couples like that feel like that is the only way that they can protect themselves from social media?
Yeah. Well, first I would say, honestly, is a do what works for you type of thing. And I'm not trying to give you a cookie cutter answer, but you have to do whatever's going to work for you. In my house, we do give away passwords, but that's not on some you go in my password. That just, I have nothing to hide. You can have my password. It's no situation, a scenario I would see where me and my wife would share a Facebook page. That for me, honestly speaking, just real talk speaking, that is very goofy to me. I just can't ever see that. But she will always have access to anything I have because I have nothing to hide. But I'm not going to share my social media because we went to different high school. We have different set of friends. Guys, you can live your own life. We're not telling you not to live your own life. What we're saying is come up with what's going to be respectful and acceptable to your partner. If you do that, you won't have any problems.
I totally agree with what Tonio is saying, but I
hope
do
so.
have an objection.
Oh, I knew that was
Oh,
coming.
let's do it.
Okay, so my thought is this. If you are married and you have a spouse and you all have to share the same social media platform, there are some deeper issues there. And I could just be honest. That's my opinion, my humbled opinion. And the reason why I say that
long as
is
it's humble.
because in marriages, it's so important that you have your individual lives outside of the marriage, right? And so if I'm married to you and I'm spending my life with you and I'm coming home with you, cooking with you, sharing a family with you, and my social media, we have the same, we're sharing the same page, I would like to think that it's some trust things that may be going on where you all aren't trusting of each other to allow you all to be individuals in that personal space. Because let's be clear, social media is kind of personal, right? I'm a little older, so I'm on Facebook a lot. So we're looking at family, we're looking at classmates, we're looking at, different things like that. I don't want to sit and scroll and look at his people and his classmates and the people that he grew up with. But if I have to control what my husband's doing and control what he's clicking and liking, then I would suggest that we share a page. However, Antonio and I do share profile pictures on our Facebook pages, and that's the only platform that we share each other pages. So I don't think it's nothing wrong with that, but I do believe that individuality in marriages are so important.
Mm-hmm. I can get with that. To me, it kind of speaks to, there's a difference between secrecy and privacy.
Correct.
And I do agree with you because I think you said a mouthful. I think what you said is correct. I've heard those people. I've heard people say, "Well, if me and my husband are as one, then we should have the same account, or we should be able to share this, or I should be able to access his account whenever I want." And you do have those couples that they make it be known, whether or not they're both in agreement or it's just one and the other just don't feel like arguing about it.
Yeah.
They just feel like it leaves too much room and opportunity for BS to happen.
Yeah.
Right.
And I agree. And the reality of it is, if you know that you're not responsible enough to do certain things on social media, fellas and ladies, don't do it. Don't put yourself in a situation where you know you can't handle it. If you can't handle TikTok and Instagram, don't get on it. If you know it's going to be a problem for you, if you know you can't control certain things, don't get on it. Don't put yourself in that situation. That's the next advice I give someone.
I can dig it. I can dig it. Okay, last question. Then we're gonna move on to the conclusion. So brace yourself. Here we go. Because I really want you guys to come with it. I want you to Hadouken this thing. Okay. We know that social media is not going anywhere. It's just gonna get bigger and more expensive. How do you see social media's influence on marriage evolving into the future?
I'll take that one first.
Take it.
What I hope to see more platforms like the Love Rekindle come online. I think we have to have more positivity, and we have to give out more content as it relates to educational. Right now, we're giving a lot of opinions, and at some point, we have to get away, especially in the space of relationship. We have to get away from opinions. We really have to really do the work and put in the research and just put better platform. So to answer your question, I think we get more educational pieces onto social media for couples. I really think it will evolve into the right space. Meaning, if we create a community for couples, it'll make it way more better. Because right now, we don't have a lot of real communities that specialize in really helping couples stay together. We have social media now that give couples a light, what it's like not to be with someone. And I think if we package it differently, I really think then we can move in a different direction of making social media what it really needs to be.
My thoughts is when it comes to marriages and relationships on social media platforms as we evolve, I would like to see more of our families on social media platforms. I would like to see more of our men, our fathers, more so on social media platforms. I think it's important that we strive to have positivity and show thriving relationships, show thriving marriages in our community on social media platforms. I think it's important, and I understand that it's strength and togetherness. And that's what a lot of our platform, The Love Rekindle, is about, bringing that education, bringing those resources to our community so that our younger generation can see what life can be like for them and what they can strive to be.
Yeah. So let's normalize positivity without saying people are showing out. It's
Right.
positivity.
Yes.
It's not showing out. Let's normalize that, to your point.
That's what I'm talking about. I can dig it.